hello, and welcome to a sand spell for Virgo New Moon in August of 2022. I'm your host, I guess, Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, they are my initials. I'm a professional witch, a professional intuitive. I'm the president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 years in service. Author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box if you would like to check that out. And I am a creator on Patreon who are seeing this first before everybody else. They get advanced content. Patreon, a lovely subscription service for us creative types. Different levels of subscribers. Humans, at this point I have humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses. Was going to try and release Mystic today on the new moon, but I'm getting ready to buy a house, so there's a lot going on in the air. But I'm a Virgo, so hang in there and we'll get it detail by detail. We'll get it done. You know, if you want the advanced content, you want to go check it out. I'm live streaming there every morning. I have been, like, every morning for, I think, over a month now. And way before that, a cup of coffee, talking about the day's astrological weather, the spiritual implications, the magical applications, and we always end with a prayer, meditation, something, to kick off the day. So if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but it's so much simpler just to call me Mal. Damn. Hi. Hi. So let's do this. If you've been following the channel for a while, or if you are one of my patrons, then you know I do these special videos for new moons, full moons, and the 8 solar Sabbats of the Wheel of the Year. So we are doing the Virgo New Moon, and I thought, well, the inspiration hit me, do a sand spell. It wasn't until 24 hours after making that decision that I realized what an effect Sandman must have on me on Netflix about that. I didn't even think of that, but you know, the subconscious is what the subconscious is. So here's what we're going to do. I have here on my my cell phone a Google document, which my patrons get the unlisted link so they can preview this, and I edit it as we go until I tell them final draft, this is it, so they can do it on their end. But I'm just going to read through it briefly so that you know what's going to happen and pretty much when and what order. So there are no surprises. I'm not into that. I'm not like, and then all of a sudden we're going to open a portal to this or that. No. Unless it's in the outline, right? So, welcome. Check. You've been welcomed. I feel pretty welcome. We're going to do an opening prayer with a statement of purpose, what it is what we're going to do here today, and that is casting a sand spell. And we're going to talk a little bit about sand magic, which is, yes, earth magic, crystal magic. Sand is, I believe, for the most part, quartz, right? Silica quartz. So we'll talk about that. Then going to talk a little bit about the new moon in Virgo, its mutable earth, 6th house. We'll talk about that and the different magical applications, etc. And then we'll talk a little bit about sand magic in the lecture talkie point of it. I am a spiritual teacher, have been apparently for a really long time. The only tools I am using are sand, right? I actually have some green sand that somebody gave me that I had in a drawer upstairs in my room of requirement, my room of shadows, bottom drawer for earth, then water, then fire, then air, then spirit. I got a 5-drawer little magical cabinet up there. And I was like, well, there we go. And I am seasoning it, which means adding stuff to it. For the element of air. So we're going to talk about all that. We'll get there when we get there. And then we're going to do the working itself to make this yet another magical tool. I will charge the altar in an altar devotion. We'll cleanse and consecrate the sand, which is easy enough to do. And then I will season and empower the sand. I've got some vervain and lavender oil in there already, ready to go. We'll talk about that when we get there. Then we're going to chant the spell, and I will read you the spell before we get there. But this spell, like, sometimes it takes an hour. Some spells it takes like a day for it to just even download and come through. This one came through in like a half hour. And it's a very simple rhyme scheme. You'll see when we get there. And I like rhyming spells because they're easy to remember, particularly if you want to do this over a 2-week period. New moon to full, or maybe a full moon cycle of 28. So let's do that opening prayer and statement of purpose. I'll pop up a picture and some music so you can close your eyes if you want to. But, you do you. After all, it's Virgo. Please take a nice deep breath. And let go. Take stock of where you are physically, right? Get yourself physically comfortable. This is an element of Earth. Sun conjunct Moon in Virgo. So, that self-care. Just check in, right? Scan your body, head to toe, just easily, right? Giving permission to relax, to release, so that you are comfortable, so that the body feels safe. If you have some chronic pain issues, discomfort issues, I completely understand that. That's why I always give a little extra attention to my lower back, which is very Virgo. Right? We are the intestines. The Virgo rules the intestines. So right back in there, I like to give myself a little extra support, so that the body can sort of not just relax, but the physical energy field can expand, unfold. And then just for a minute or so, breathe. Well, you're going to breathe anyway, right? Just breathe in the life force, which is doing things that you have no control over, right? In terms of your physiology, right? In terms of the oxygenation, right? The purification of the blood, the removing of carbon dioxide from every cell in the body. Imagine if you had to focus on doing that. You're like, okay, so, right? The oxygen there, or move the carbon dioxide there. No, it's all built in. The prana, the chi, the mana, the spirit, the reiki, the shmeki, the exabeki, whatever you want to call. The spirit that is the breath. And that will allow other bodies to expand and unfold, like the physical body and relaxing, but then the emotional body, the mental body, the energy, the etheric body, all that. Just sort of blossoming like a flower, and it's perfect time for it, at least here on the East Coast in New York. And as you just kind of rest in the body, just be with the breath. You don't have to do anything special or fancy unless you wanna. I'm just gonna offer this opening prayer. Still point. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For any and all watching this live or later, well, I guess I'm the one watching it live, doing it live. Our guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, ancestors, higher selves, all the way back to the divine singularity, the mother of all, the nameless Tao, source, the one, to encircle each and every one of us in a force field of light, containing and protecting the work, the healing, the service, the opportunity that we have here, the magic, the miracles, and mysticism, in a force field of light, so that all information and energy that exchanges between each and every one of us in all timelines of this lifetime and beyond does so clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all. And as ever, particularly as a Virgo, use me. All aspects of self, known and unknown, all overtones of all dimensions. Make me the channel of guidance, grace, love, wisdom, power, and service that you sent me in to be in this life. For healing, for balancing, and to make change in form, mutable earth, Virgo. and a blessing on this planet, Gaia, that she may fully awaken and be revealed as Paradise Planet Earth permanently for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. You can open your eyes if you haven't already. Take your time. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And let's get up in this gig. Opening prayer, statement of purpose, a dunsy onesie. We are going to be casting a sand spell, which I swear to you, I didn't even take Neil Gaiman's Sandman on Netflix into consideration, but it was in there. It had an influence, but honestly, I learned from an astrologer back in the 90s that every zodiac sign has its elemental form in the physical world, right? Capricorn's a mountain. Makes sense, the mountain goat, right? Cardinal earth. Taurus, fixed earth, is bedrock, right? Fixed earth, but can also be fertile soil, right? Agriculturally speaking. Nutrient dense, right? That way. But Virgo is sand, mutable earth. Right? Sandpaper, we change things. Everything we change, everything we touch changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes, which is the mantra if you want to do it at the end of this. A little sneaky peeky preview there. So of course we're going to do some sand magic here, which I live on Long Island, you know. Head north or south, you can get some, but I just think it's hysterical. I went upstairs into my room of requirement because I'm going to be moving my house, so I have to start sorting through all that stuff. And I found a Ziploc baggie with green sand in it. I was like, work. Okay, and I am going to be seasoning that with some stuff. So that's the sand I'm going to be using, but you know, you do you, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about it. It's a new moon in Virgo, which means the sun and the moon are within 5 degrees of each other in the sign of Virgo. It is mutable earth, changeable earth, so it is in a way a sign of a physical transformation because it's mutable earth, right? Changeable earth, shifting, the shifting sands. Now, the interesting thing about that is, particularly because Virgo rules the intestines, sand was used in ancient times as a filter. Right? The Nile water, right? I guess like stream, you know, filter out the alligator poo, crocopoo, whatever. So that's pretty ancient there, as well as it interacts very interestingly with the other elements. You apply fire, you get glass, right? Like sand, that quartz, it turns it into glass. It is quartz. In water, sand and water is an interesting combination because particularly with like scrubbing things and cleaning things, and you know, if you ever wet sanded something, right, it really can make things shift. So you know, it's an interesting thing, particularly sand is so versatile, right? So that's what we're going to do today. This is a spell for change, physical change. It is 6th house, ruled by Mercury. That's why I'm using lavender oil, which is sacred to Hermes, at least to me, Hermes, Mercury, Leguathoth. But 6th house is an interesting thing because, you know, I am a Virgo, so of course, you know, you study your own sign even before you find out your moon, your rising, and all that stuff. 6th house, yes, is about service. Sure, we're the servants of the zodiac. Fine. But in Carolyn Mace's Sacred Contract, she went a little bit deeper. She says occupation and health. And those two things are directly related. I say it pretty much all the time in Virgo reads, or if a Virgo card pops up in a reading here on YouTube, I will say, you know, what you're occupied with affects your health, right? It's not just what you do for a living, although service and occupation obviously can be connected. But my guide said to me decades ago, they're like, here's how we'll explain it, and you'll feel the era this was set in. Crackheads are occupied with crack. Right? How's that affecting their health? As well as your health occupies how you manifest your occupations in this world. And of course, that can have to do with work, career, vocation, and your service in the world, as a healer, as whatever it is that you do. Yeah, health, occupation, and service are really the key words for me. So keeping that in mind, this is the great thing I love about Virgo moons in general, is you can do magic as long as they're in service. That's how I roll, right? The moon is in Virgo. Like when the moon is in Aries, to me, it's like carte blanche to do any kind of magic I want to do for myself, first house, the self. But Virgo really is in service, and it doesn't have to just be in service to others. If we're all one, it can absolutely be about your own healing so that you can serve and so that your healing serves, and on and on and on, in the quantum, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, helping everybody. Shifting ley lines and timelines and all that jazz. So let's talk about sand magic. My favorite way to do sand magic, look, I am a Virgo sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising. So you know where I really belong? Right where the ocean meets the sand on a sunny day, right? So the Pisces moon wave comes in, it hits the Virgo sand, and there is that golden line of sunlight where they go together. I love going to the beach, and I'm moving to the mountains, but hey, you know, the gods send me where I'm supposed to go. And lakes are just not the same. They're not exactly Pisces, they're more Cancer, if you ask me, but whatever, sign of Cancer. So my favorite way to do sand magic is to just, you know, sit in the sand, draw a circle, start drawing sigils, symbols, whatever, put some crystals in it, light some incense, you know, fire, earth, air, water, whatever, make a little altar, do my deal, and bam, right? Because I know it's not just going into the sand around me, particularly on Long Island. It's hitting all of Long Island because it is a sandbar, and look where it's pointed. Manhattan, right? New York City, where that thing goes out from all over the world. So I've done a lot of work here over the decades with sand magic. But certainly it's good for sprinkling. Particularly, you know, you can make like a stock of it. Like this is all going to be enchanted with this spell, but when you hear the spell, you're going to see it's very, very versatile. So, you know, if you have to sand, you know, throw sand down on ice or, you know, something like that, just, you can always take a pinch of this, put it in a larger thing, give it a shake, and you're off and running. All sorts of things, right? You can just kind of put it under the welcome mat, whatever, for whatever you want it to do. But when you hear the spell, you'll be able to tune to that a little bit better. But let's say sand, because it is a mutable earth sign, is very versatile in that way. And it won't dissolve. That's why we're not using salt, right? Salt is, to me, a different vibe, certainly, because you're looking at ground quartz, essentially, with sand, and that's definitely what that is in there. So the tools that I am using are the sand itself. We've got some tea lights here on the table, on the altar, one for the element of fire on the altar, as well as I've got 3 illuminators. It's not really a fire spell, so I just want to have some good lighting there. The seasonings that I have chosen, and what I mean by seasoning, it's like, okay, black coffee. I'm not into it, right? I put organic raw honey in it, and a drop of vanilla extract, right? And half and half. That's how I get my ass going in the morning to get everything done. And I actually do a spell into every morning, starting clockwise, enchanting my coffee for myself, right? That's seasoning it. But you can really season sand with anything. It's not like it's edible. So I am using lavender oil because it is, again, good old Acacia. I have other brands than this, but these are the ones that I seem to have the most of because it is Mercury, right? It is, Virgo's ruled by Mercury, so I'm like, perfect. As well as I found myself, I didn't realize I had it, I just bought it in Saratoga and I forgot I had it. Some vervain, darling, which is an earth element. Oh, God. Oh, and it's got the lavender in it already. I put it in the mortar and pestle and just kind of sat there. It's all absorbed. Vervain, look it up. I use Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, and for everything that it says in there, it's wonderful. But for me, vervain is to make it go. It is a strength herb. You add it to any spell. I mean, be careful what you're mixing it with, I'm sure. You know, it's sort of like dragon's blood, but earth. It's a good way to say it. So that's what I have seasoned these with, as well as I think I said the lavender oil is also on the 3 illuminators and the candle for the element of fire. Yeah, and that's about it. So this is what's going to happen if you're new to this, because I do like to, this will be going in there at some point, but not just yet with that. Okay, so if you haven't seen me do this before, I'm going to juice up the altar, right? I'm going to do what's called an altar devotion. Just going to light the candles first, so I don't have to do them later. Every time I do this, I find a new way to do it, a better way to do it. So we just got 3 here. I like doing 3 candles minimum. 1 for the maiden, 1 for the mother. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Light your flame, mama. There we go. Mother and the beloved crown. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I also have the statue of Hermes here. You'll see it in the picture. Oh, you might have already seen it in the picture when I did the meditation. Right. Because I haven't taken the picture yet, which is the weird part of this. That's the weird part of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up these elements. I got sage in a smudge here. I'm going to put a little bit of that, the vervain and lavender on that when it gets going. Like I said, I got the fire candle. I have, in case you're wondering what this is, the Cancerian holy water that we made. God, it was a full moon in Cancer. I guess that was in January. Wow, Capricorn Sun, Cancer full moon. And like I said, this will be our element of earth being purified as well. Cool? Let's do the do. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And we begin. Oh, this will be so much easier if we just do it this way, Mark. Let's do this. Let's do ignite. Ooh. Just get it going. That's what we like. Here we go. O creature of air, I do cleanse and consecrate thee in the names of the mighty ones of the East, casting out all negativity from you in this world and in all worlds. Blessings be upon you now. So let it be. O creature of fire, I do cleanse and consecrate you in the names of the mighty ones of the South, casting out all negativity from you in this world and in all worlds. Blessings be upon you now. So let it be. O creature of water, I do cleanse and consecrate you in the names of the mighty ones of the West, casting out all negativity from you in this world and in all worlds. Blessings be upon you now. So let it be. O creature of earth, I do cleanse and consecrate thee in the names of the mighty ones of the north, casting out all negativity from you in this world and in all worlds. Blessings be upon you now. So mote it be. Still point. Water and earth, air and fire combine to transform and inspire. Align us with divine desire. Our highest service we now require. Elements guide so that we may be on our paths and on them stay. I ask you now, show us the way of what the divine desires this day. O Lady High, O Consort Bright, illumine this working with your light, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. So it is. Let's just cleanse and consecrate this sand while we're here. I want to torch that a little bit more. It's a video. We don't mind the smoke. And it's delicious. It's simply delicious. Pinch of lavender and vervain. Still point. I cleanse and consecrate this sand by the power of air, removing all negativity from it in every time and place. I cleanse and consecrate this sand by the power of fire, removing all negativity from it in every time and place. I cleanse and consecrate this sand by the power of water, removing all negativity from it in every time and place. And I cleanse and consecrate this sand by the power of earth, removing all negativity from it in every time and space. It's Goku time. It's spirit. Make a spirit ball. I do cleanse and consecrate this sand by the power of spirit, removing all negativity from it in every time and place. And I do so season and empower the salt that it be a vehicle, a versatile vehicle of the magic, miracles, and mysticism needed in service to self and to all for a sand spell A pinch will do. And very, very versatile too. For the well-being of all. And with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. Put you over there. Back on the selenite with you. Oh, that went well. That went well, darling. All right. So we did the altar devotion. We cleansed and consecrated the sand, seasoned and empowered it. And now we're going to chant the spell. We're going to read it to you first, and you'll see this is a plug-in. That's why, you know, what would really be wise for me to do is to just take like a little pinch of that and empower it with a specific intention. But I think the intention that I have written on here will cover a lot of ground, and then I can always, you know, because it's chords. You can reprogram chords, right? So here's the spell. I'm just going to read it through for you, just to clarify anything that might need clarification. A sand spell. And by the way, you can do this whenever. You don't have to wait till the moon's in Virgo or, you know, whatever, the sun's in Uranus. I don't know. Creature of earth, power of sand, I charge you now by word and hand. Right, that's right. Spread a change across the land better than I could have planned, which is saying a lot for Virgo. Bless the ground on which I stand. Weave my path strand by strand. Open ways that once were banned. To shift this world is what I'm putting. You could say my life, my finance, whatever, my health, with this, that, the other, to good and grand, for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as I will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. And then we're going to chant 6 times, because Virgo, 6th house, she changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes, which is, you know, is it Starhawk? I don't know. Is it Z Budapest? I don't know who came up with that first, but thank you, whoever brought up with that, because I've used that 10 billion times, and it's just lovely. She referring to the goddess, to the divine feminine, because it is, after all, a new moon. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The rhyme scheme is just this same rhyme over and over and over again, all in rhyming couplets. So, creature of earth, power of sand, got that. I charge you now by word and hand. Spread a change across the land, again, element of earth. Better than I could have planned, because the universe has always got a plan better than anything we can imagine or conceive. But this is like asking, okay, here, make that happen. What's the mutable earth part of it? How can I serve that, right? Bless the ground on which I stand, which is just always a good idea. Weave my path strand by strand. In other words, you know, the physical path through it, right? The ever shifting quantum variables in any given moment to keep you on track, but the track that is that larger golden timeline, whatever you want to call it. Open ways that once were banned, and it's not because you were bad that you were banned from them, it's just you weren't ready for them yet. That's how that works. To shift, fill in the blank, to good and grand, like something that's good and something that's grand. I don't mean grand in terms of grandiose, it's not very Virgo. But certainly something like, oh, that's grand. Right? That's just wonderful. I really like that word there. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, which makes it unity. As I will it, so let it be done, so mote it be. Cool. All right, it's magic time. I am psyched to do this. So I'm just going to put this back in the center so it is the focal point. I might add just a little bit more of lavender oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there you go. 6 drops. I like to. Lavender huffer. Okay. Let me just clean up my workspace for a minute. And I no longer need this because I got it handwritten in my magical book of light. It's not really a book of shadow. I got a room of shadow. I got a file cabinet of shadow upstairs. And if something happens to me, bury this book with me. Or publish it and make a lot of money and put it to good use. Whatever. So, we're going to do this for realsies. Let's put that over there. I think I have everything I need. But you know what? If you're going to do it, take the time. Do it right. We can do it, baby. Do it tonight. Although, technically, Come on, guys, play with me. Ignite. There we go. Thank you. Said the magic word. Please. All right. Got the music. Gonna pop up the picture. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, we're gonna say it 3 times. Duh. First time we're gonna say it just so that you can feel it in your mouth, right? You know, feel it in your mouth. Let the muscles move, right? Second time, put your heart into it. Pull oomph into it emotionally. Third time, let him have it. And just, if you can even read this spell to yourself later and think, what would this do to the world at large? It would make things better. So, shall we? Still point. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna hear you say it back. So it's sort of like a repeat after me. Energy's really high, but I'm not so shocked. Again, please take a nice deep breath. Still point. First time. Creature of earth, power of sand, I charge you now by word and hand. Spread a change across the land, better than I could have planned. Bless the ground on which I stand. Weave my path, strand by strand. Open ways that once were banned. To shift this world to good and grand. Start again, breathe. We're saving the last bit for the 3rd time. Round 2. Creature of earth, power of sand, I charge you now by word and hand. Spread a change across the land, better than I could have planned. Bless the ground on which I stand. Weave my path, strand by strand. Open ways that once were banned. To shift this world to good and grand. Breathe. 3rd time all the way through. Give it what you can, give it what you got. Breathe. Still point. Creature of earth, power of sand, I charge you now by word and hand. Spread a change across this land, better than I could have planned. Bless the ground on which I stand. Weave my path, strand by strand. Open ways that once were banned. to shift this world to great and grand, for the well-being of all. And with harm to none. As I will it. So let it be done. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. So let it be. So it is. Take a minute. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. All of that. Because now we get to wrap it up. You gotta ground. I mean, for an earth spell, it's not very grounding. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she does change everything she touches, and everything she does do change. See, 'cause she's the divine love part of it, right? So love is the healer, the universal solvent, call it what you want. Amen. So we're going to do a little prayer meditation thingy to ground us, certainly to say thank you to the divine, and to, so that we can navigate through the rest of our day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this. In a more stable way, but it is about change. So get ready for the changes. So, one last time. Please get yourself comfortable in a position you can stay in for a couple of minutes, right? Not very long. Check in with the body. Close your eyes. And breathe. And relax. Become aware of the physical body, certainly, but also see if you feel a little bit different than when we began this. A little physical body check-in. Again, just go into the breath briefly. And it is from this, hopefully more grounded, certainly more magical and more miraculous and more mystical place, in service to the well-being of all, I offer this prayer. I am truly grateful and truly thankful to the pantheons of the divine, our guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, ancestors, and higher selves, all the way back to the divine singularity, the nameless Tao, the mother of all, source, the one light through which we view through many lenses, for encircling us in this time spent in a force field of light, containing and protecting all that we did, that all information and energy that exchanged, even with some verbal glitches, but those are perfect too, that it was all done clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all. And as always, thank you for using me voluntarily on my end to make me the channel of guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power that, we're all sent here to do in some way, shape, or form, but, my sacred contract. So I can fulfill what I came to do here in this life and go home. And I don't mean a new house somewhere, I don't even mean the house I'm in, I mean home. By bringing home here. By bringing paradise, planet Earth. By making the changes necessary in my life to make this happen for my well-being and for the well-being of all. And before we close this off, please, may everyone who sees this video and everyone who sees those who see this video be blessed with the change they need. May not be the change that they want, but what do we know? Human beings on heroes' journeys, immortal souls and divine children, all at once, multidimensionally in the now. May we all be blessed with the change that we need to make this world, our lives, our loves, our entire experience in physical form, the very best and the very blessed that it could be, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. So it is. Virgo power. I hope you liked it. Very mellow now. I needed that extra little thing at the end to get me back in my body. So look, if you're watching this on YouTube like a week or so later, if you liked it, like it, and subscribe to the channel, because I'm serving. I'm serving you, human hero, immortal god realness. And if you want more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more me, more Mal, come Patreon. It's a lot of fun. It's a lovely community we're creating there, and I love it. And it's allowing me as a Virgo to serve, but also allowing my Leo rising and my Pisces moon and my Venus conjunct Mercury and Libra, a place to express itself and make some money. So go check it out. And for my patrons watching this, I love you. I will see you in the morning. Cup of coffee. Hair doing what it's gonna do. A little prayer, a little meditation. I love you. I will see you. And for everyone else, don't forget to make the thing disappear. May you all be blessed. And a blessed, blessed, blessed new moon in Virgo 2, or whenever you are watching this. I love you. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.